Day 5. A spokesman for Magen David Adom, the Israeli equivalent of the Red Cross, spoke today in tears of the horrors they are continuing to uncover as they go house to house in the towns and settlements that Hamas invaded on Saturday. They have found children with their mothers and elderly women with their pets slaughtered in their homes. There is a backlog in identification of bodies. While the bodies of some of those slaughtered at the rave party near the Gazan border on Saturday have been found and identified, hundreds of Israelis are still missing. 130, according to figures released by Hamas, are in captivity in Gaza. The army has set up a new phone line for both inquiries and information about those missing. The army announced that they have killed over 1,000 Hamas terrorists inside Israel since the invasion. It has concluded from the numbers and from the weaponry that Hamas had planned not just to cause damage, but to conquer and take over the territory which they invaded. It is unclear if more terrorists are still roaming in the south. 18 were found and killed yesterday. There was suspicion that more Hamas terrorists were in the town of Netivot this morning, and emergency regulations were put into place there. Overnight, there were more rockets from Gaza, which continued this morning. Ashkelon was attacked several times this afternoon, a second attack causing damage in the centre of the city. The whole centre of the country, including the Tel Aviv area, suffered a major attack this afternoon. Hordes of volunteers, including teenagers, are providing unprecedented support for those who have fled their homes and for those staying in the south, particularly in Sderot. The National Unity Emergency Government, which the population has been expecting since Sunday, has not yet been formally announced, despite both Benny Gantz and Benjamin Netanyahu saying that they want it. We hope for an announcement this evening. This morning, there were more sirens along the northern border. Residents of towns and settlements up to 4 kilometers from the northern border have been moved to safer places. Hezbollah took responsibility for an attack that set off sirens this morning, but it turned out to be a false alarm set off by IDF attacks on Hamas bases in Lebanon. The terrorists who entered Israel from Lebanon yesterday were identified as Hamas rather than Hezbollah. Early this afternoon, Hezbollah leader Nasrallah threatened to join the war if the IDF continues to target sites in Lebanon in response to attacks from there. President Biden's strong speech in support of Israel last night included a warning to Hezbollah not to involve itself in the hostilities. American citizens are among the Israelis being held in Gaza, along with citizens of Britain, Canada, France, and other European countries. At least one Australian has been identified among those murdered. Israelis are following and grateful for the enormous support we are receiving from around the world. American Airlines announced today that flights to Israel would not resume until December. This is Peter Jones-Pellach reporting from Jerusalem for NCJWA Australia.